I must open this back. Should I enter it? Nah, let's just hack it with an axe. See, I wish things like backpacks were a requirement in this game. The same way they are in Cataclysm. Like, you need something that can allow you to carry the volume of stuff. I really like that. Yeah, want to buy steel pickaxe. Oh, my lord, yes. Though, again, auger. I want to buy an auger. That's what I really want, is an auger. Right now. In my hands. But we'll get there. It'll just take us a bit of time. Isn't there a mod for it? I wouldn't know. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not aware of any mods that add that kind of functionality, but that's awesome if they do. If such mods exist, then I'm extremely happy to hear it. Oof. Now, one of the things that I'm going to want is probably to build this up enough that I can have torches on the outsides that cast a decent amount of light across these structures. I think that's going to be important for me. In fact, I might even add one in here. Right there. Add an extra bit of light across. I don't need a lot of light. I just need a bit. Honestly, having a lot of light will kind of steal from the feeling of the Horde Night in a way. Alright, we've got just a few more seconds until we know. It's day 20. Place your bets. Now. Everyone who bet that today was going to be a Horde Night just lost. You lost, regardless of your bet, 300 internets. Leafin will be around to collect your losings in a moment. Please don't change your bet. We operate on the honourable gambler system here. If you decided that it was going to be a Horde Night, just let us know that you lost and present Leafin with your 300 internets. Please and thank you. Horde Night, Sierra, is where normally the zombies only really act and interact with you if you interact with them. But on Horde Night, it's a little bit more complicated. During a Horde Night, the zombies will actively hunt you down. They're also a bit stronger, and effectively, rather than there being like, you know, just there's this many zombies in this part of the world, and that's just the way it is. You know, the zombies were, or a little like group of 5 or 6 that just kind of wander across the landscape. It will generate hundreds of zombies, and they will actively try to get to you. So Horde Night is a bit of a, it's kind of an action sequence, if you like. It's like the finale in Left 4 Dead. Effectively, that's what Horde Night is. Annoying. I didn't think it was going to be a Horde Night, but I want Leafin to come visit. So I'm a claim I totally bet it would be one. Wow. 9. Taking the L to claim the win. That's very, very clever. Very clever indeed. Wow. I kind of think that this... Oh, I got an idea, everyone. It might not be the best idea, but I think it is. Because it'll make this look symmetrical, and it'll make me so happy to have that. Nine, that is fantastic. For those watching in YouTube land, this will not come across in text, but Nine said, taking the L, lowercase, to get the L, uppercase. Yeah, oh, that's just fantastic. Well done, Nine. I love your play on letters there. It was glorious. Hello, XP Pinatas. Is it pinata or pinata? I honestly don't know. will confess my ignorance on this. But I want to know. Come hither. Avoid my... Oh, dear. That is the problem with the sledge. It requires an inordinate amount of stamina to use effectively. Really? How did I miss? The beautiful thing about the sledge, though, is it can take out a Moe in one hit. If you smack him in the right place, it's game over for Moe. Have those arrows back. Thank you. I mean, if you're lucky, you'll do it to a Moe with an arrow as well, but that's luck at that point. Thank you. There was a nurse back here. She may have died already, though. Hello? Excuse me. Well, no nurse. Oh well. Ah, there we go. Now, I'll take this back. I'm going to adjust this, because the thing that I want is I can jump 3 tiles. The only zombie that can jump 3 tiles is the spider. And honestly, spiders you can manage based on your position. You can confuse spiders that way. Sir Sack, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime there. 28 months of it, actually. Wow, thank you so, so much. That's incredibly kind of you. Diolch yn fawr, mate. Right. We want these to be half blocks. On face. 1, 2, 3. Then we want a block like that. Tunk. Now this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't jump that. I can't. A spider can. You know, so you might be asking yourself, well, why Aavak? Why are you possibly doing that? Because if I put a ramp there and a ramp there, then it's 2 blocks and the zombie can jump there. You see. There is method in my madness. Not much, I confess, but there is some. First, I need to upgrade all of this. Basically, I'm going all in with this, because if this doesn't work now, I've got to pull it all back down. I'm that confident in my plan. Sometimes you just gotta be that confident. Let's go ahead. Tunk. Now I need on face, please. Tunk. Tunk. Now I have created a gap that is only 3 long. But the zombies may still see this as 4 long. I know I'm falling into my trap about bullying the zombie pathfinding AI. Shush. Can't help it. Whoop. Gonna be a little bit better with the timing now, but it works. I approve. I like it. We will keep it. Okay. Zombies can jump, yes. Zombies can jump over very small gaps now. Or at least the Blood Moon zombies can, I'm fairly certain. Have I tried unturned? You know what? I haven't, but I've often wanted to. So maybe one of these days. I will. No. Physics, oh, poop. Yep. We're going to have to just take that loss there. Physics is laughing at me. Fine, physics. You win. Scoundrel that you are. There we go. That's still fine. It casts enough light for me. Okay. With that... Oops. Need to get rid of you. I want 1, 2, yep. 3, 1, 2. And finally, one over here as well. For now, these can serve purely as a distraction for the zombies. So that when they go into their I want to break everything mode, they're as likely to try and break this as something that actually does perform some function within the grander scheme of the whole defense. There we go. Okay, liking it. Now comes the arduous task of pulling this down. Ugh. I'm not going to like that as much. But it needs to be done, so no point in complaining about it. But yeah, I haven't tried Unturned. I would really like to. I may do that at some point. Unturned is fun, but gets better with more peeps. Then again, it's free and not that large, so finding peeps is doable. Most servers are RP only now. It doesn't bother me. I enjoy RP servers. Anyone else getting Diablo 2 vibes from this building? That is quite literally one of the best compliments I could possibly receive. Thank you so very much. Now, we will build a little bit of something out over here, but it's not going to be there for accessibility purposes. It'll just be a structure that will eventually give rise to future towers. Because ultimately, the best kind of defense that I have found in terms of just, well, in terms of not just trying to exploit weaknesses in the zombies pathfinding. And again, I've kind of said that whereas I don't like exploits or things that seem too cheesy in most cases with the zombies, I don't mind the idea of a human with full control of their mental faculties being able to outsmart a zombie, which is now reduced to the more base impulses and not very much left in terms of like problem solving. That being said, one of the best and probably one of the most vanilla safe ways that don't require any deep understanding of the mechanics is simply to have multiple towers all interlinked in such a way that you can move between them, but the zombies can't get up to where you are. And when one tower is starting to take a bit of a beating, you move to another tower to encourage the zombies to come over there. And then they've got a whole other host of metal spikes and a whole other wall of cobble or concrete that they now need to burrow through. So you spread out the damage and thus avoid any one place taking too much damage. That used to be my go-to system of surviving the apocalypse. Right up until, I think it was Alpha 17, actually. Right up until Alpha 17, that was how I did it. I stopped once Alpha 17 made it so that zombies in a group got a multiplicative bonus to their damage. It was at that point, I was like, okay, well, the problem with this is that my old system, which could have lasted, dozens of Horde nights, as long as you just carefully move between one tower and the next, now hits this problem where, what used to be enough, like maybe a pillar of reinforced concrete, maybe 2x2, if you wanted to be fancy, could handle it before you moved somewhere else and drew the zombies away. Well, now like 5 or 6 Moes could just melt through that because they're so capable of doing damage. And once you get to like wraiths and things like that, it's like, okay. But with enough fortification, I mean, these towers are not small towers anymore. We might be okay. I'm hopeful. I agree. Zombies have a slower CP. See, barbed wire in this game is actually genuinely a useful thing, but not to hurt the zombies. It's useful to slow them. Very useful in that regard. While there are no threats nearby, is it possible to click on a button and repair your whole base without painstakingly going over every block or something? No, unfortunately not. You do need to investigate each block. That would be a nice thing to add, but I'm not sure how they would do it because a lot of the game is about time management, and repairs take time. It takes a lot of time, actually, to fully repair a Horde base is a considerable time sink. Now, they've made things to try and take away the utterly unrewarding parts of it, like the loot grind. Like, you'd end up with so many zombie corpses around your base that, like in Alpha, I think it was even in Alpha 17, or it might have been Alpha 16 that this was particularly the case. Like, almost every zombie dropped loot. And so you'd have to go out, you'd have to look in every single corpse. And there might be hundreds out there. And also, the rotting meat, when it was there, would attract more zombies. So you really did need to go out there and get rid of all of the zombie corpses, because otherwise they would make for a difficult time post-Horde night cleanup. And they replaced that with, yeah, the zombie corpses basically disintegrate just through the weather now. And once that's done, most zombies don't drop anything. Only a rare few drop loot, and it's very obvious when they do. So they took out that grind of the post-Horde night, because quite honestly, sometimes you weren't done clearing up the corpses before the first night was over. But repairing your base, that feels more like a part of the core game loop to me. So I don't know if they would ever add something like that. If they did, then they would need to address the time it took you. So in case, instead of, aha, there are no zombies, I will click this button and my base will be repaired. I assume you imagined using the resources to repair it. I can't imagine that you were asking for it to be free. But I think time is also a consideration. They might just accelerate time forward, I guess. That's one thing they could do. Oh, wow. I would love it if there was like a kind of a colony management element to this and you had some NPCs. I think there are even mods at it, kind of like in the same sort of vein that they added like NPCs to Minecraft in Melanea back in the day. But I would like it if they were like NPCs you could hire and have do work for you in your colony. That would be awesome. Even if it was a case of that NPC didn't actually come out here and walk around and repair it, but rather you'd go to the NPC and say, hey, fix up the base. And they'd be like, on it, boss. And then just time would pass. A little bit of time. And as time was passing, blocks were being repaired. If there was enough resources in certain parts of the base. That was way off, and I knew it was going to be way off. There we go. He's not dead, though, but he will now come to me. So it's going to be easier. Is it in his hand? Yeah, it is. Now, since we've got a whole extra day to work on the base, and for those of you who are watching the series and like a bit of a mixture of going out and exploring and a bit of base building, I know that a lot of this has been base building. It's just that this is the kind of upgrade to this base that requires a lot of work be done quickly, more or less all at once. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So for anyone in YouTube land, like, oh my lord, when will he stop? After this Horde Night. Horde Night 3, I feel like the Horde base you have for Horde Night 1 can carry you through Horde Night 2 with very minimal upgrade. Then the Horde base you've got for Horde Night 3 typically needs a bit of a buff. But then that one, similarly, will be able to carry you through Horde Night 4 with very minimal upgrade and repair. Ideally. If all things go well. I mean, if it doesn't, then this is going to be a bit of a problem, but we will hope that it does. Because I'm very eager to get out there and get back to looting a bit. I like a mixture in my my zombie apocalypse. It's much the same in Cataclysm. Whenever I would play Cataclysm, if I'd had a few too many episodes where I was, you know, working on an important project, like I was building my car or, you know, upgrading my base to have, you know, practically limitless energy or something, or, you know, doing the whole, I'm making my inner woods cabin completely self-sufficient. It's amazing. I'd be super into that. But after like 2 or 3 episodes of it, I was like, oh, I need to go and do something else. Now, of course, those episodes are like an hour long. But this has already been, what? Almost 5 hours of this? But I imagine the Horde Night is very close now. I imagine the Horde Night's very close. I'm getting closer all the time. Get in there. Thank you. Gonna need a lot more fences. Yes, I will. Frames, rather, fences. 100 will do. Probably more than enough, actually. There will absolutely be another Cataclysm Let's Play. I'm trying to get my channel back to a nice place after the bit of a slump that it has been in throughout all the pandemic and you know, my computer problems and all of that. So I don't have a specific time for it, but there will absolutely be more Cataclysm. And as much as I could just stream it, I'm really looking forward to the plans that I have for Cataclysm as a well, I the term I use to like isolate a recorded for YouTube versus a stream game is a bespoke series. So it's recorded specifically for the purpose of going up on YouTube, and as a result, I do a lot more work with things like editing, and I've got some really cool ideas for that, and I'm genuinely excited to put into effect, and I hope people will enjoy as well. If they don't, I'm going to be quite like, ah, damn it. I was so happy about this. But I want a more, well, cinematic is the wrong word, but more narrative-driven Cataclysm series. Really looking forward to it. Yay, level 21. As promised, straight into minor 69er. There we go. So our tools now, the block damage will be increased by 90%. And I can craft good quality tools. So at this point, it may well be worth me taking a little bit of my materials and making like a quality 4 pickaxe, for example. Aavak forgets he could just point his camera at the ferret and just stream to Twitch or YouTube for hours on end and get that in the stream. You want to know why I don't do that, though? There is a reason. I know a lot of people enjoy seeing it, and I enjoy sharing the antics and just you know, I really love my pets, and I love sharing how much I love them with other people. But the reason why I don't do that specifically, like, you know, try to make my channel into a big, you know, just this is like, you know, have an ongoing like series with my pets, is I don't want to monetize my pets. It would absolutely get views. Of that, there is no doubt, not even the slightest doubt. It would get stupid views. But I don't want to monetize my pets. I don't want to make that, my relationship with my pets, become a job. It's more than that, and it should be more than that. And if I took it into that, that would feel wrong. The occasional videos that I put up, yeah, I monetize them. I allow them to be monetized, and in the capacity that those occasional videos bring in a little bit of money, at that point goes back into the ferret's food and toys. But if I made a channel out of it, then I would be earning a living off monetizing my pets. And that feels wrong to me. I'm not throwing shade at anyone who does it. I'm sure they take wonderful care of their pets and they love them to bits. But I don't want to change my relationship with my pets in that way. That's just a me thing. Just a me thing. Okay. Let me grab some of this. 3 feathers. I mean, it's not much, but it's a bit. But yeah, so that's the reason why I've never done that, for those of you who have wondered, because I'm sure there's plenty of you who have wondered, because I get people asking for more ferret cam all the time. And I'm sure that a lot of people would love it, but I carefully manage how much of that, how much of what I do with the ferrets ends up on the internet in any way to avoid that scenario, I guess. Mithril, work harder, Siri. Look cuter. Oh my lord. Yeah, I mean, I imagine that for the most part, my bike. For the most part, people who have like pet-focused channels, and this goes for all sorts of things, not just pets, I imagine they do it because this is a thing that they're doing with their life, and they want to share that. And if they make a little bit of money on whilst doing it, then that's fine. And I'm sure it always starts out that way. I'm doing this anyway. I'll do a little, if I make a little bit of money, well, what's the problem there? That's just extra pet food and extra pet toys. But somewhere along the lines, it'll become a living. And once it becomes their living, I don't know. Like I said, I'm sure many people who do that sort of thing, they have nothing but the purest relationship with their pets, and it doesn't affect them in any way. I just don't want to take the risk. I don't ever want to get up and think, oh, I'm going to have to find some silly costume that I'm going to put the girls into to generate those clicks and make that awesome thumbnail that I know will make the money. Yeah, I've got loot respawn off. For those who are worried, like, oh, why are you destroying the nests? You fool. Yeah, loot respawn is off. Not specifically because I don't want respawning nests. That part makes absolute sense to me. That part makes complete and utter sense to me. The reason I've got it turned off is because it doesn't make sense to me, that I can just wander around, just leave a gun safe alone for long enough, and someone's going to come along and put new guns in it. There's enough ways of getting nearly limitless resources in this game that you don't need to do that, in my opinion. There's plenty of ways to get stupid amounts of resources in this. You can just go to a quest and go to a point of interest, and it'll regenerate the point of interest for you. Even that is silly to me, but I understand why they've done that, so that there are always quests to do. You don't ever run out. Because it would kind of suck if you put all of your loads of skill points into being great at questing, and then there were no more quests because all the places have been looted. It's a very brute force way of solving the problem, but it works, I think. For the record, I really hope that it is as cathartic watching me build this base and just slowly upgrade all the walls, as it is for me to do. I sincerely hope that you're enjoying this as much as I enjoy doing it. But with that said, do let me know. And this goes out to folks in YouTube land watching this after the fact, as much as to people in Twitch land watching this live. Do let me know. Feedback is never a bad thing. It's just basically giving me free information with which I can use to better my content. Really, you're doing me a service, and I'm not paying you for it. I'm not going to pay you for it, though. But thank you very much for doing me the service.